Okay, I'm here going to show you how I go about cutting a spinner and also screwing it onto the back plate and cutting the holes out for the prop on one of these aluminum spinners. Anyway, first thing I do, I have my back plate. I come in here and I take the prop. You're best to have the prop the exact same size the hole is here. You need to get it centered, and I've already centered and marked this one. But anyway, you need to get it centered, and then I mark down both sides of the prop to where it's going to clear it over here on the edge. Then you need to take and translate those marks down the side. Okay, and it's okay if you're just a tad wider. That's fine. Anyway, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take my spinner, and I've kind of already marked this one for the hole, but I think the holes are going to be a little bit big. But anyway, you need to translate those onto the spinner itself. And that'll give us how wide our notch needs to be for the propeller to go into it. Okay, once I've got that marked, I'm going to come in here and we've got to make a pattern to go around the prop and give us pretty much close to the same shape. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get my template set up, and then I'll explain to you how I set my template up, and we'll go from there. Okay, next thing I did was I take my prop, put it back on here. This is after I've marked it. And I come on the back side and I measure how far it is from the lip up to the top of the prop. That's close to 7/8 inches on this side. And then I come and do it on the inside, and that's a 1/2 inch. I take a piece, I got an old piece of ABS, I take it up here and I put my 2 marks on the ABS, and I draw a straight line up on both sides. This one's 7/8 inch high, that's a 1/2. Then I come in here and I start, it's trial and error, and I'll draw an arc, and I'll cut inside that arc and put my prop back on, and I'll keep cutting until this will sit all the way down on the lip. Now I've got, on the other side, I went ahead and I've got this one where it fits. It'll slide all the way down on there, and it will touch the lip and gives me a little bit of clearance on the prop. You want a little clearance on both sides and just a little bit on the top. You can always remove a little bit more, you just can't add it back. Okay, now what I do is I take that template and I come over here to my 2 marks. I take the template, I come over here to my 2 marks on the spinner itself. And I trace that onto the spinner. Like I said, we can always, it's going to be a little bit on the inside of the line, so I can always take off more. I just can't add it back. So we'll start with that, and we'll do both sides that way. I'll trace it off on this side also, and we'll get that cut out. What we're looking for is for this to sit flush all the way down on the lip at the back. So let me go ahead and I'll start cutting this, and I'll be back. Okay, here I have my spinner. I had the notches cut out, and like I said, I traced off and I went just inside of those, and I cleaned it out until I kept putting it on here and make sure to clear the prop. Now, the first thing I did is I rough cut it with a cutoff tool. I rough cut up each side. You want to cut with inside the marks, and then I made a couple marks this way. It left some up top, but I use another tool for that. So anyway, I cut the majority of it out. Then I came back with a drum sander. Anyway, now this aluminum eats this stuff off quick, so you'll wear out a couple of these pretty fast. I cleaned it off a little bit more. And if you want to cut it by hand, you can cut this with a good sharp X-Acto knife, or a deburr tool works really well. You can just take it in there and it'll just cut. It'll cut it out a little bit at a time until you get to where. And also, I use a file. Sometimes that deburr tool will start getting a little bit of raised spot, and a file will take this right down. Anyway, I've got the prop in. This will go all the way down and seat along the bottom edge all the way around. All right, now what we got to do is come back and drill the holes. Each prop will be, I can't do these for everybody because number one, the props are all shaped differently. This just happens to be a Zinger. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is come in here and show you how I go about drilling the holes in. So I'll get this set up, and then I'll come back and show you how I did it.